You know, it's really hard to say who gives the worst chicken hack advice, but I will say that the internet has a ton of horrible advice as well as a ton of good advice. So let's get into it.
This is my alternative to your typical chicken house. It feeds my birds for me, it waters my birds for me, and it moves itself on a daily basis.
It's Coop.
Thank you for your cooperation.
You know, when you're raising chickens for meat and you're using the chicken tractors, like even if you're using one of the chicken tractors available from my good buddy John Siskovich, be sure to check out the stress-free chicken tractor down below. You know, labor is always going to be your biggest thing. If this was entirely automated for me, I'd be a little bit worried that they would end up getting crushed because I wouldn't be able to see if like a bird might have its leg caught in the tractor while it's moving. Yeah, I'd love to see it in action.
We take all of our mail, paper waste, cardboard.
Ooh, I would not do this. The big things I would be worried about here are that you have some sort of plastic that gets into the mix that you don't filter out with your junk mail. You would have to be using fresh shavings every single day or else it would get absolutely rancid.
So I'm making my chickens a little treat to help keep them warm.
Those are some bougie as heck chickens. This lady's talking about this being a food that keeps your chickens warm. I do not think it will make that much of a difference in that regard. Don't know why you would do it. Ah, we're doing a little automatic coop door action. They're relatively affordable online, and so yeah, I think this chicken hack is A++, would recommend.
Guys, check this out. I'm at Polyface Farm right now. There's probably about 1,000 chickens in here. Guess what I smell? Nothing.
So Polyface Farm, if you guys don't know, it's the home of Joel Salatin and his regenerative farm operation. He's kind of like the granddaddy of regenerative farmers. He actually keeps all of his birds in the winter in a hoop coop. And what this guy here is saying about no smell is 100% true. Yes, I would highly recommend this chicken hack as well. All right, let's see what she's feeding her chickens. Yeah, you can do this, but this is a lot of work. It's not that expensive at all to buy oyster shell grit for your birds at a feed store. It's gonna give you even better results, and so I would not do this, but I would get oyster grit.
Let me show you how to pre-season your chickens.
Pre-season your chicken.
Crushed red pepper and oregano are both a natural remedy for deworming.
Yeah, I think that that's a myth. I mean, I guess she was joking about pre-seasoning. The reality is, when you look at folks who are doing like production level birds, they're not adding an additive like this to their bird feed, and my suspicion probably is because it doesn't really make a difference. Ooh, I like chicken tricks. Let's see what we got here.
Tuck its head under its wing.
Okay.
Rock the baby.
All right, I can do that. I can do all that. Wait, what? Wait. I gotta see that again. Wait, what? It's like his chicken glitched. That's crazy. I need to try this. Excuse me a minute. What? I cannot even remotely believe that that worked, but I just did 2 separate chickens and it worked perfectly. So that is an incredible chicken hack. Okay, the most useful chicken tool. 100%, this lady is spot on. Using a fishing net like that is critically important. So this lady is spot on with this recommendation. Yes, the way you keep chickens from destroying your garden is you keep chickens out of your garden. Yes, if you're using like fencing or hardware cloth, that's gonna definitely keep your birds out. You will murder your lawn if you're not careful with your chickens. Well, I am a lazy chicken keeper, so let's see what this hack is all about. Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm cleaning anything, using some grass or leaves as a scraping mechanism is always super handy, and it's usually right there in front of you. Unless you're like us right now and you have a foot of snow on the ground, and then that probably doesn't work. This right here is a wonderful chicken hack. They will hop fences that are, 3 or 4 feet high. The way you prevent that from happening is you clip their wing. Usually you'll just do one wing. If they're just flapping and trying to fly with one wing, they just kind of spin around in a circle. There's no harm that you can do whatsoever to your chicken wings when you're clipping their flight feathers, and so don't be afraid of that one at all.
First things first, we'd like to introduce you to our chickens. Shaquandra, Lashandra Day, Biggie Shorty.
well, those names are just a little bit problematic. It does seem like she has a pretty good design for her coop here. It provides shelter and protection for the birds underneath the coop. The way she's got it set up with the wheelbarrow, and you can sweep it out. If you're looking for coop designs, this would not be a bad one to emulate. Speaking of coop designs, here we got Josh, the Stony Ridge farmer. Josh is a really good dude.
I believe in America.
Even if he does believe in America. See, this design that he's got is a good one. It would be very hard for your birds to get attacked in a setup like this. The fencing he's using for the outer run is probably not as good if you were just using it for a nighttime setup, because like a weasel or a mink could easily slip through that. But the actual coop itself, which you lock your birds in at night, is like Fort Knox. A coop like this is gonna keep your birds clean, and it's gonna keep them safe from predators. Yeah, you know, another thing that's good to give your chickens is a dust bath.
I fill my dust bath with diatomaceous earth.
And actually, she's going the extra mile here. So we just use some sand in the bottom and then throw wood ash on top and let that mix together, and that's all they do. I would strongly recommend this. This is a good approach. Huh. This RoboCoop is something, man. He's even got like a little remote car starter going for it. I am impressed. This is way smarter of a coop build than I could ever get around. It looks like it's come to be the time in this show where we're gonna be doing the Pinterest lightning round of chicken hacks. What do we got? You stick a gutter in between some cinder blocks, and there you go. You got your own chicken feeder right there, ready to go. That's a pretty good one. I mean, there's a whole market of people focused on giving your chickens entertainment, but chickens are not nearly as smart as people think they are. They're not gonna need that. They can just be a chicken. I mean, yeah, you can use all sorts of things for nesting boxes here, whether it be kitty litter containers like it seems like they're doing. 5-gallon buckets work as nesting boxes. I think the downside with these types of nesting boxes is you're gonna get poopy eggs. I prefer the rollaway nesting boxes. On our farm, we rarely, if ever will wash our chicken eggs. We pretty much just leave them out, because when you don't wash your eggs, you don't have to refrigerate them. Now, duck eggs are a whole different story. I use this little gizmo here. It's a device I got a couple of years ago, manufactured by a dude here in Vermont. I'll leave a link for it down below. I would say we have like, you know, a small to mid-sized number of eggs that we produce every week, particularly the duck eggs and the goose eggs, but the duck eggs especially need to get washed. By having a little washer like this, it's become worth it over the years. Here's another chicken hack, and I didn't expect to come up in this mix, but here we are. Okay, using cinder blocks as a way to both have a flower bed around your chicken coop, as well as prevent predators from digging underneath your coop and getting in. That is a good hack. These swing set feeders are not great because your chickens are gonna just knock them over, and then you're basically negating the point of using a feeder, so not a good hack. Using containers that have, like, say, some PVC pipe as a way for the chicken to get in there and eat, it definitely prevents your feed from getting wet or spilled all over the place or inviting more rodents than you might want. And so, yeah, these are good.
This automatic feeder adds enrichment.
Again, I don't think chickens need toys. The waterer is a little bit more useful. The feeder, I think, is stupid. And yes, I think these swings are so stupid. Chickens don't need toys. I take a hard line on that one. I just said chickens don't need toys. You can hang a cabbage out there and your chickens will peck at it. You can also just take a cabbage and toss it to your chickens and let them enjoy it. You don't need to, like, gamify it. I don't know. All right, keep water out of shaving. Yeah, this is a good hack. This is not just a good hack, though, for chickens. This is actually arguably an even more important hack for ducks and geese. It's not gonna solve the problem entirely when it comes to ducks and geese. It pretty much entirely solves the problem for chickens, though. Yeah, this is an A+. All right, so she's trying to keep her chickens off the porch, and so she's shooting an automatic motion-detected sprinkler at chickens. I mean, I guess so. I'm not sure I would recommend the method that this lady is using. I will say that you do need to have a way to keep your chickens off your porch. I just think the better way to do it is fence them in and contain them somewhere else. Don't just let your chickens totally free range, undeterred around your property, or you're gonna be undeterred.
Here's a very simple chicken tractor idea using an old trampoline frame.
I mean, I guess this works. I also don't think it looks all that secure from predators. I could easily see weasels getting in here. There's so many weird cracks and crevices. I think so often people want to take something they have and repurpose it as a chicken tractor. And I think you're so much better just using a good design that somebody's built and other people have used over and over again versus trying to hack something like this together. What's we got here? We got a cooler. Oh, she built an incubator out of a cooler. Now this is a good idea. I think at some point I'm going to do this personally, I see something like this and I think it's kind of brilliant. It looks like it's working pretty well. Good for her. And I know it might seem like it's extra effort to build the window for the cooler incubator so that you can look in, but let me just tell you, being able to watch your birds hatch is such an incredibly satisfying feeling. While in theory you don't need to do this, I would do it if I was going to build my own cooler incubator too.
A city in Belgium offered 3 chickens per household to anybody that wanted a chicken.
All right, okay, so I've heard this clip before. So this is the farmer Joel Salatin, who I mentioned earlier, talking about this city in Belgium that gave chickens to their people as a way to deal with food waste. And while it's a very powerful anecdote, I have struggled for years to find information validating this story. If somebody can point me to the resources that verify this, as well as shows what's happening today, say 5-10 years later, I would be very grateful because I want to learn more. I want this to be true. I want this so badly to be true. There's just some parts of the details that don't quite check out for me.
We use permethrin 10 and mix 20 ml.
Oh, no, you're not doing good animal husbandry. You're basically putting a band-aid on the problem versus fixing it. This video makes me so flippin' angry. Breaking news. You don't need to turn your eggs. You can also stack them to hatch even more. And she's just got a whole bunch of eggs in an incubator? What? So she dry hatched. Wow, that's crazy. So even the humidity stuff is like different. I don't know what to make of this one. This is the question I'm wondering. Like, why doesn't anybody do this? Why aren't commercial hatcheries out doing it?
Their method is because that's what they were taught. That's what they were educated about. That's how I started.
Okay, it's just, her point is just, well, that's just how people do it, and you fall into this trap of doing it. This has some sort of weird, like, culty vibe to it, I will admit. There's something not quite 100% right, but I'm so curious and intrigued that I think I want to make a video where I attempt this hatching method myself. Logically, this makes sense. There's just some weirdness to it, and I just don't know what to make of it. And as soon as I have a video where I have tried it, I will post it right here. I'll also try to make more of these chicken hack videos if you guys enjoy it. And so if you do have links, send them to me and I'll maybe make a follow-up. But thank you for watching, everybody.